tomorrow night at 7:10. There is supposedly a lack of leadership right now in the White Sox clubhouse. There's a lot of silence between players. It's getting very cliquish. I saw a local sports writer here tweet out a photo. Said there's just no energy or communication from the White Sox right now. Now, you can't tell anything necessarily of merit from one snapshot of a game. You know, you got to be in that dugout day in, day out. Figure out what's going on. Maybe Tony La Russa's on another bender. The hell do I know? But I'll be there tonight, screaming like a little girl for my White Sox. And Bill will be there tomorrow night, screaming like a little girl.
No, screaming like a big girl.
For Cleveland Guardians. 4-1 was the final of the first half of the doubleheader today. So we'll see what happens there. Back in Chicago, night number 2 of the Rage Against the Machine tour. And Zach De La Rocha gets a reminder that he's 52 years old. He already hurt himself. They started at Alpine Valley in Wisconsin. Last night was the first of 2 at the United Center. They're playing again tonight. Homecoming shows for Tom Morello. He's from Libertyville, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes due north of the city. He's probably the black guy in Libertyville, Illinois when he was a kid. Zach injured his leg on stage and finished the show seated. You'll remember Dave Grohl did this for a while. He broke his leg and ended up sitting in like a big throne and playing the guitar and singing. And you can kind of make a case for doing that in Foo Fighters. When it's Rage Against the Machine, nobody's coming to see you sit. They want to see you jumping around, screaming, yelling. But again, you're 52 years old. And time has a way of reminding you that it's been over a decade since you've been on stage performing with Rage Against the Machine. I don't know what he did to his foot, but there's video going around. Jumps up, lands weird. You know, nobody wants, you don't want that.
You don't want to land weird.
You want to, man, because then it reminds you that you're getting older. And we all know it. Again, this goes back to how insignificant we are, you know, with those Webb telescope photos, that none of this means anything in the grand scheme of things. But you still got to live your life. You're doing your stuff day to day. You're going to work. If you're lucky, you're going to a show. Maybe you'll get some every once in a while. And you go to a Rage Against the Machine show, and people who are there are excited because they remember when they were 18, 19, 20 years old, seeing Rage Against the Machine, seeing this band no one had ever heard of before, coming out like a machine gun. You didn't even know what they were angry about. You just knew that you were angry about it too.
Yeah, but then they got all political.
Ugh.
Right. I'll never get tired of that.
You know, when they were writing songs about sandwiches and stuff, that was a lot more fun. But they had things to say, and they were going to be good goddamned if anybody was going to stop them from saying it, frankly. And so you're so excited to see them, and so you go see them. It doesn't really occur to you that it's been a long time, that some time has passed since this has happened, and you're excited to see them come out. And Zach jumping all over the place. Bullet in the Head was the song. And he jumps up and, like I said, lands weird and then ends up sitting on one of the wedge monitors the rest of the show.
I still think that'd be entertaining. Just because he's still, I mean, it's not the same, but at least you go, I saw the one where he hurt his leg.
Got a story.
I guess. I mean, listen, you're there. You're not going to walk out. Right?
Neither is he.
Right. But a lot of cities they're playing, and they're here the 27th of this month. Young Bill Squire is going to that show, I think.
Yep. Got my ticket ready to go.
Yep.
Loudville,
Oh, yeah?
Sitting next to my ex-girlfriend.
Hey, where the roof is going to scrape your head?
Not that far up.
You guys are going together?
Well, because you bought the tickets
we bought the
3
tickets
years ago.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
so that's who...
and neither of you are budging on it. Neither of you are
I don't
like,
care. I want to see Rage.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Like, I have no bad blood
Is it going
with
to be
her.
weird?
I don't think so.
Have you guys spent any one-on-one time together since you broke up?
No, and we won't be spending one-on-one time in this situation.
You
Well,
won't-
you'll be with her there.
But she's going to be with 2 other of her friends. I don't care. I'm just going to be watching Rage.
Oh, so you guys bought 4 tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay,
it wasn't
okay.
just the two
I
of
thought
you
it was
going.
just the two of you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're fine.
It'll be fine.
Well, they're doing a lot of multiple dates in a variety of cities. They're doing 5 shows at Madison Square Garden in August.
Jeez.
They're doing 2 in D.C., 2 in Toronto, 2 in Chicago. A bunch, 2 in Detroit, 2 in Minneapolis.
No, somebody's got a better seat for me.
Hey, if you are south of Loudville, Bill Squire, tell you what, I don't want to speak for you. Bill will, I bet he'd be willing to swap his Loudville ticket for a pit ticket.
Yes, it would.
If you'd be willing to do that, it's worth considering.
Or if you have like I actually love the idea of sitting in a suite, a corporate suite, to watch Rage Against the Machine.
I know.
That makes me laugh my ass off.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, that show was so good. It really brought me back to my musical roots. Oh, were you like down in front? No, we were up in the corporate suite.
We were in the corporate suite for Huntington Bank, and it was just what I needed.
That's right. I knew they would probably
The
wave
yin and
to
the
us.
yang. The
Yep.
yin and the yang.
Wave to us up there. Our own Mary Santora is a well-established fish detective.
You know it.
And so I'm sure she would. I had to look this up, but I'm sure you know full well.
Oh, I know. I
what
already knew.
I know you know what noodling is.
It's where you stick your
Oh,
arm
you
in
never
it.
heard of noodling, Alan?
Stick your arm in a catfish hole.
Oh, I've heard of noodling, just not in this capacity. Right.
I saw Mike Rowe do it on Dirty Jobs, and that's when I found out about it. And it's a wild thing to do.
It is the #1 way to evict a fish when they don't pay their rent. Noodling.
You kick in the door.
And you fist in the door.
See, are they trying to get rid of no-knock warrants in the
Yes.
fish law community
They
too?
are.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a guy in Pontotoc County, Oklahoma, out in the middle of nowhere. We have a lot of bureau chiefs in Oklahoma. We've got Brad. We've got Spencer. Julie is in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. We've got Mike and Chelsea. This guy's about 90 minutes outside Oklahoma City. And he's being accused of killing a fellow noodler,
Oh, boy.
saying that he's blaming Bigfoot.
Ah. Well, obviously.
2 guys were noodling. Larry Sanders, hey now, and Jimmy Knighton were noodling together in a river when a fight broke out. What is going on? You're probably drunk, right? I mean, isn't fishing supposed to be relaxing?
Not noodling.
Communal? No?
No.
Oh.
You're literally shoving your hand into a catfish nest and trying to wrestle them out with one arm.
But
There's
these
nothing
guys
They
know
relaxing
bite your
about-
hand and pull it
Yeah,
out.
they bite. They latch onto your arm and then you pull them
Yeah.
out.
Are you wearing like a falconer
No.
glove or anything?
No.
These
Okay.
guys do it barehanded.
But that's what I'm
not,
saying.
Not the ones that are serious. They're doing it bare hands.
But this isn't their first rodeo. So for them, this is probably how they relax.
Nah. I don't think there's
No?
anything about this that's relaxing. It's not
Okay.
like when you're standing on the bank with your best bud having some beers
Yeah,
with
this
a
is-
line
Fly
in
fishing.
the water.
All
That's
right.
not, no.
this is like
intense.
testosterone
Yeah.
pissing contest. type
Okay.
thing, yeah.
Well, clearly they said one of these guys was under the influence of something, so clearly they were having some beers or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, you definitely. I think you're getting drunk and then doing this.
The one
hammer
guy hit the other dude and strangled him. He killed his friend. And his, of course, he's probably under the influence of something a little bit stronger than beer, because what he told the cops was that he had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill his friend, because Bigfoot was coming. I didn't know what noodling was.
Yeah?
But this is what's going on there in Oklahoma City. I thought there was a show called Hillbilly Hand Fishing. I remember that, right?
That was
Yeah,
probably
that's
part of
noodling,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it called
It's not just
Nighttime
noodling.
noodling. Oh,
Although nighttime is the best time to noodle.
is it?
Yes.
Because the fish can't see you?
They're dormant.
Dormant. Oklahoma, of course, the Sooner state, right?
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
Am I right?
I'd sooner amputate a limb than live there, I believe is one of the last states admitted to the Union, too. Think about that. It's in the middle of the country-ish, and they go, let's hold off on Oklahoma. Almost the last state admitted into the Union. There's a wild documentary we watched called The Girl in the Picture. Has anybody heard about this? It's on Netflix.
No.
It's about this girl.
Did you send a picture?
Yeah. It's about this girl in Oklahoma who is killed in a hit and run, like her body's found on the side of the highway. They can't figure out who she is. And then, like, the dad gets arrested, but then they find out that, like, or the husband or something, but they find out the husband is the dad. It's a wild story. It's wild. They're trying to figure out who he is, who she is. They got different names.
Yeah.
She was pregnant. Oh, it's a whole thing. It's called The Girl in the Picture. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
There are a lot of unanswered questions by the time you get to it. But it's a wild documentary. You know, there's so many documentaries now where the source material is so thin that, and I think we might have gotten spoiled with things like Making a Murderer and,
Yeah.
where these groups of people do these deep, deep dives on something, right? Now you've got all these other documentaries because they're super cheap to make and they can just throw them on a streamer. But there's so little source material that half the documentary is just random B-roll.
Yeah.
Just as filler. And then a couple of interviews with people here and there. It's not that bad, but Gwen and I are watching it because I thought it was episodic,
Yeah.
but it's like a 90-minute thing. And I was like, well, this is better than sitting through 8 episodes of B-roll.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd
nothing,
rather do
right.
that
Right.
for sure.
That I think it's called Skinwalker Ranch, something
Yeah,
like that.
I see that come up.
That one was like that, where it was just a lot of like black and white field with the hay,
Right.
and I'm like, and a voiceover about
Yeah.
how they never solved. I'm like, this is stupid.
Because
this
they
is
only
2
have
hours long.
They have a handful of interviews with a
Right.
handful of people, and they got to fill it up with something.
now,
That's why the stories that have a ton of media coverage are great.
Yeah.
Because they can just like the
There's lots to
Gacy
pull
stuff.
from, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have all kinds of stuff they can pull from.
I am going to be in Oklahoma City in October. Should I go noodling?
Rocktober.
Oh, good for you.
You want me to noodle while I'm there and film it and find Bigfoot? I'll do that
You
for the
can
show.
noodle here.
Listen, man, you can noodle wherever you want. You don't have to be in Oklahoma.
Okay.
I just didn't know what noodling was.
Go noodling anywhere. There's a
Where are the
pond.
catfish here?
Most ponds.
I didn't know. But that's not as fun because they're like stocked with it. The real noodlers are in like the river where their natural nests are.
I also, just as an aside
We
here,
got rivers.
and now again, I don't know much about Oklahoma, but I certainly didn't think that it was like ground zero for Bigfoot
No,
sightings.
that's like Oregon. Any wooded area, usually.
the California redwood forests. or
Yes,
whatever.
there was a big
Virginia,
one.
where I just
Pacific
was.
Northwest.
My sister asked me that when we went to the redwoods. She's like, "Is this where Bigfoot is?" I was like, "Maybe." And then we looked it up online, and it was like, actually, he's in 14 different states. You know.
Who gets around?
West Virginia's big for Bigfoot.
Stephen Canton saying more like Rage Against My Shin. Yeah, that's right. Now, it could be a catfish, could be a 100-pound snapping turtle that could take your hand clean off.
Also true.
But these guys, I assume these hillbillies that do this, they don't know where the turtles are. This is a good hand fishing hole. They live there. I would think like these
Yeah,
guys,
they
if I were to
probably
go
know.
in, I'd need a guide. I'd need a noodling guide,
Yeah.
right? I go,
You
are
would
we
need a canoodler.
That's right. A co-noodler.
Yes.
I'd be like, do you usually do this with your pants off?
Yes.
He'd go, yes, we do.
We are in the river. I
Yes.
mean, come on.
You got to get your
Rookie.
noodle out there.
That's how they do circumcisions down there.
Yeah, so I had to Google catfish noodling, but there it is.
Big fish, dude. Catfish are huge.
So you put your hand in.
Yes.
Do they reflexively try to eat your hand?
Yes, because they want
s-
you out of their nest.
Did anybody see the viral video of the guy that grabbed the bullfrog that had the bird's mouth and head in its mouth?
No.
And his kids are standing there, and he's like, I've never seen this before.
That's crazy.
You kind of can't tell what it is, but this guy rescues a bird's head out of a bullfrog's mouth.
Did he get the whole bird? Because I don't think it's much of a rescue if you just get the head.
No, I mean, it was in the bullfrog's mouth up to his neck. Yeah, he rescued the bird, and it goes flying off. But so it's a catfish nest, is what it's called.
Essentially, yeah.
And you put your hand in there.
Yes.
And they go for your hand.
Yes.
And but they don't have teeth.
They do.
They have teeth.
Yes, catfish.
So it can hurt your hand.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Why do they
you'll
do this?
see
Because it's the easiest way to catch them.
you'll see like marks on their arms. And
But
stuff.
isn't it also the easiest way to get some kind of river-borne disease in a
Yeah.
cut in your hand? Mm-hmm. And are catfish difficult to catch?
Any fish is difficult to catch with your hand.
Not if they're in a nest. No. I mean,
They're slippery.
just put a line. You get a line, I'll get a pole.
I mean, you could try. But
That's what I'm
doesn't mean
saying.
they're
Like,
gonna
why
bite.
not do that? This
But if you invade their privacy, they're going to bite you.
This seems like a choice rather than a necessity.
It is
think
not
that-
a necessity, but it's the easiest way to get them to bite. You don't know if they're going to bite a line. But if you put your hand into their nest, they're going to bite you. So if you can get them to bite and
it's
latch on, you can pull them out.
like a macho thing where you go like, oh, I'm not afraid to do this.
Okay.
It's like a way to show off.
What if you have a line and a pole, but on the line you bait it
With
with like an adult Mart latex fist?
I don't
then
think
you
they're
put it down in
attracted
the
to
hole.
fish. They're to fists.
You just said if you put your hand in.
Because it's invasive.
Yeah,
You're
so
getting
you-
into their space.
I certainly don't want to waste my fist, my latex fist. But let's say
They're also invasive.
let's say I hook it onto my line, and I'm sloshing that around.
That's what you should do. You should go down there.
Okay.
With go hang out with some noodlers and be like, well, I don't want to use my hand, so I'm going to use
This rubber fist
this rubber
that I brought.
fist and put it in there and see
That
how they
looks
react.
Terrifying.
Yeah, you see how big those fish are? They
Oh, I
stick
know
their
they're-
hand
I
in
know
there
they're big, but
until they bite them, and then when they bite
Show it
them,
up to
they
the
pull them
camera.
out.
Oh God,
That's what
it
happens.
looks
This fish
terrifying.
is bigger than this girl. It's pretty crazy.
Show it up to the
All right, hold
camera.
on.
yeah.
Is that Hannah Barron? People are telling me to check
don't
out
know.
Hannah Barron as some hot ass noodler.
I just typed in noodling fishing on TikTok.
Yeah, Hannah Barron. Okay. The catfish. She's got 1 million followers. The catfish girl. Hashtag get bit.
Yeah, that's what
Jesus.
they do.
Okay, well. Yeah, good for her. Or them or whatever. But and it's probably good eating.
I don't like catfish.
But they're giant. You don't like the whiskers? You just like regular cats, not
Yes.
catfish. Yeah.
No, I like a meaty fish. Catfish is not very meaty.
This girl could have swallowed my whole head, it says there.
Yeah.
46 pounds is what that says, that she's holding up there.
What's her name? Oh, Hannah Barron.
Hannah Barron. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
1
took
point.
a big old swaller out of it, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, she's got 1.9 million followers on TikTok.
Good
Dude,
for
these
her.
things are giant.
Yeah, that looks terrifying. No wonder this guy killed the other dude. He's like, I don't want anybody talking about this ever again. And Bigfoot's coming. I don't want Bigfoot thinking I'm a pussy. He's going to show up. Dateline Parma Heights. This story made me think of our own Mary Santora as well.
Ready?
They got a guy, I guess, who had kept his mother's death a secret so he could keep getting her Social Security checks. And they went in to check on this guy. Neighbors were like, oh, this guy's mail is starting to pile up. So the police went over and checked on him. This was a 70-year-old guy in a hoarder house. He had been buried
Alive.
by the, well, he's dead now.
Yeah.
Buried by all the stuff that was being hoarded. Mountains of boxes and books and magazines. They
Yeah.
found him dead underneath it.
It falls on you. What are you going to do? You're old, you're brittle, probably broke a leg or an arm.
If you'll permit me to use a phrase I've never used before, hoisted by his own petard, as it were. Yep.
What does
Mark
that
that one
mean?
down. I don't know. They said that obviously you'd have to crawl over things just to get through the house.
Hoisted by his own discard.
So yeah, she was still getting Social Security checks and retirement funds and all that stuff, and the guy was getting all that money.
So the mom died.
But they didn't know if she was dead or not. So I think they went to, like, he was already guilty of doing that.
She died in the house too, or just he died in the house? She died in general? And then he was buried in trash.
She died, yeah. And then they found him buried in trash. There were a bunch of storage units.
Hey.
And the remains of the mom was in one of the storage units.
Hide and seek.
So then they're like, well, we got to go. She died in 2012.
He's been doing it for a decade.
Yeah.
Serves you right, man. That's what you do, cheating the system.
You think that's karma? I know you believe in karma.
Oh, well, yeah.
It doesn't strike me as karma. It seems very likely that you live in a house that's just floor-to-ceiling crap.
We had that.
Something
I
is
never got
gonna-
suffocated under boxes.
Well, you had people around you that could pull it off you.
If they were there.
If
yeah.
they were there. Try catching a 50-pound catfish with your hand. It's not easy.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
look
exactly
easy.
what
No,
they're
I'm not
saying.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It looks terrifying.
Yeah. And she's going in, like, I'm
she's
still
little.
watching. She's little, and she's going in through the gills and yanking it out.
Because
then-
they're so big.
Right, but, like, yeah, it's a wild thing to do.
Catfish don't have ordinary teeth. That's why it's easy for them to catch. Most fish have razor-sharp teeth, not catfish.
They still have teeth, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take your word for it. I didn't
You
think...
can see the marks all over her forearm.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not a
there's, like,
smooth
big
ride in there.
welts.
Okay.
One of these fish was cool, then bite her top off. Come on.
Not even
Alan, I
playing
met
with-
noodlers when I moved to Chillicothe. Yeah, that tracks. I mean, there's, I don't know what tributaries they got out there, but...
A lot of these fish are, like, kind of banged up, too. They have, like, big scabs and stuff.
From people poking at them
Mm-hmm.
and shoving their hands in their eyes.
I took a big old swaller out of it, and I was like, uh-oh.
All right, I got a break. You want to get the last word in? Shoot me a text, 35192. Guardians pregame set to go off a little bit after 6:30, and then 7:10, that's second at 2. Back half of the double.